Hello, my name is Jeff Abuaje, and I am the voice of the silent majority. You are welcome to the Passion Achievers. This is Steady Tips and Hacks for Students series, and this happens to be the episode 2. In today's episode, we are looking at how effective studies improve your learning retention. And what that means is that we want to know, if you study effectively, how is that going to help you to remember most of the things that you study as a student? And so please, hold on. It's about to get interesting. You are welcome back. We are still on our series, Study Tips and Hacks for Students. In today's episode, just like I mentioned, we are looking at how does effective studying improve your learning retention. If you were not able to watch our previous episode, please, you can do that and come and continue with this video, because in our first episode, we looked at the importance of effective studying. And so now that we know the importance of effective studying, we want to now delve into how effective studying is going to help you as a student or as a learner to be able to retain most of the information that you learn. So if you've not subscribed to this channel, please do that now and click on the bell notification so that anytime we post a new video, you'll be notified so you don't miss any of the episode. Now, how does effective learning improve your learning retention? When students employ effective study techniques and strategies, they enhance their ability to retain and recall information over the long term. So what you have to understand is that when you are able to study effectively as a student, it helps you to be able to recall most of the things that you study for a long term. But because we don't study effectively, that is why sometimes after 2 hours of studies, you leave your book and you don't even have to, you can't even recall any of the things that you studied because your mode of studying was not effective. So the first reason why effective studying helps you to retain most of the information that you study is that in effective studying, there's something called active engagement. The first reason is that in effective studying, there's something called active engagement, that if you put that into your studies, it's going to help you to retain or remember most of the things that you study as a student. And when we say active engagement, what are we talking about? We are talking about the fact that if you are studying as a student, don't become a passive learner. Rather, become an active learner. And if you become an active learner, then you'll be able to actively engage what you are studying. And these are 3 things that you can do when you want to engage the material that you are studying. The first thing is, after studying the material, let's say you take 30 minutes to study the material or your book or your course, you have to be able to summarize what you have studied. In that way, you are engaging the material that you studied. And so the first thing under active engagement is that as a student, after studying, you should be able to summarize everything that you studied. In that way, it sticks in your memory. The second thing is that you should be able to ask yourself questions from what you have studied. So if there's something that you don't understand, ask yourself questions and seek for answers to that question. In that way, you are engaging the material, so it becomes an active engagement. And the third thing is that you have to be able to explain what you have studied to yourself. So after reading a whole paragraph, if you can't explain what you studied to yourself, then how do you remember what you studied? So the first thing that you have to know is that active engagement helps you to be able to retain most of the things that you learn. And to be able to do that, you have to first be able to summarize what you studied, ask questions from what you studied, and also explain what you studied to yourself. If you're able to do these three things under active engagement, then you'll be able to retain most of the information that you study. The second reason why effective studying helps improve your retention is that there's something also called spaced repetition. Spaced repetition. And what that means is that let's say you plan to study for 3 hours, you don't sit behind the book for the whole 3 hours to study. If you do that, you'll not be able to remember everything that you studied. And so you can divide your time into either 30 minutes or 45 minutes or 1 hour intervals. So you sit behind the book for, let's say, 30 minutes, you break for 15 minutes, then you come and continue. Or you can do it 45 minutes, then you break for 15 minutes, you come and continue. So it means that in the space of 3 hours, you are going to have 3 study sessions. You study for the first 45 minutes, you break for 15 minutes, you come and study for another 45 minutes, you break for another 15 minutes, then you come for the last study of another 45 minutes, then you break for 15 minutes again. If you do this, it's going to help you to retain most of the information that you are studying. But you can't just go and sit behind the book for 3 solid hours. You will not stand up, you will not do anything, and you think that after that you should be able to remember everything. And that is what most students do, especially when they are preparing for examination. Because they did not have time to study effectively, they want to sit behind the book and be able to capture everything within some few hours. No. To be able to study effectively, you have to put spaced repetition into practice. And that is one way of effective studying. By spacing out study sessions, students reinforce their memory and prevent forgetting, leading to improved retention. So because you are spacing out your study sessions, you are able to improve upon your memory so that whatever you studied, you'll be able to remember it when the time is due. The third reason why studying effectively helps improve your retention is what we call retrieval practice. Retrieval practice. Now what that means is that you recall information from memory. So now this time round, you don't have to look through the book to be able to remember what you studied, but you try to recall what you studied from your memory without looking through the book. Now if you remember, this were some of the things that we were doing as kids, to be able to remember things that we've been told. And so if you are being sent to the market to go and buy some items, because you don't want to forget what you've been sent to do, you keep reminding yourself. So mommy said I should buy tomatoes, I should buy pepper, I should buy salt, I should buy this, I should buy that. Then for some time you stop. As you go, you remind yourself again. Mommy said I should buy tomato, I should buy pepper, I should buy salt, I should buy this, I should buy that. You are trying to retrieve the information through your memory without looking at anything. And so by the time you get to the market, if you are able to do it very well, you remember exactly what your mom told you. But when you are studying, you don't put this into practice. And so a student will sit down and study, and after the study, you close the book, and that is all. The student will not go back to take the book again. When you do that, you will not be able to remember the information that you are studying. So the third thing that you have to do in effective studying is what we call retrieval practice. And so after studying for that 45 minutes or 30 minutes, you close the book and you try to recall the information that you studied to your memory. If you're able to do that, it helps you to be able to remember most of the things that you studied. And through that process, if there's something that you couldn't recall, you go back to the book, then you study it again, and you try to recall it from your memory. If you want to remember your mom's or your dad's number, phone number, what do? You keep recalling it in your head. 054, this, that, 020, this, that. As you do that, the memory, you reinforce the memory. And so with time, now you'll be able to remember the number of head. That is retrieval practice. The fourth reason why effective studying helps improve your retention is what we call elaboration. And when we say elaboration, what we are trying to say is that whatever that you've studied, try to link that with things that are closer to you or your environment or something you know already. And this is something that we do mostly when we want to recall people's name. So let's say I've met you as my friend, You tell me your name is Jeff and I want to recall Jeff. What I do is that I look through, do I have any friend who is called Jeff something? Then I try to link you to the Jeff that I know. So anytime I see you, I see that person that is called Jeff, and I'm able to remember that you're also called Jeff. Or you mention your name to me, I try to find the meaning of your name, link it to something, and anytime I see you, I remember that your name is Jeff. So the point under elaboration is that whatever that you studied, try to connect it to information or existing knowledge so that it will make meaning to you. After studying all that you are supposed to study, link it to something. So the moment you link it to something, it becomes very easy for your memory to recall what you studied, and that is elaboration. Now the final thing that makes you recall most of the things that you study is what we call application and practice. Of course, after studying all that you're supposed to study, if you don't apply it, if you don't practice it, then forget about recalling it, because you can't recall it when the time is due. So, and that is a problem, that is a major problem in Ghana, because most of the things that we study, they are theory, and sometimes you don't have the practicals, and so after studying them, we tend to forget. Nonetheless, if you have the opportunity to study and you want to be able to recall it for future use, try to practice it. Try to apply it to solving problems around you, or if there's any case study, try to apply what you studied or what you've learned to it to see how it works. By doing that, it sticks in your memory and you'll be able to remember it when the time is due. So yes, these are 5 things that if you do as a student, it's going to help you to recall most of the things that you study, or to remember most of the things that you study. And so I'm sure that by now you are following the tips and the tricks that we are giving you. That the first reason why effective studies helps us to recall most of the things that we study is through active engagement, engaging with the content that you are studying and making sure that you understand the content that you are studying. And the second one is spaced repetition, trying to repeat what you've studied or doing it in sessions. So you don't do everything together. You space it, you divide it into sessions, and you do this, you come and repeat it another time, and you repeat it the 3rd time or 4th time, and then it helps you to. And then the retrieval practice, where you try to recall what you studied from your memory without looking through the book or whatever thing that you studied from. And then the elaboration, where you try to connect what you studied with the things around you or the knowledge that you have already about certain things. And the final one, applying or practicing what you studied. These are 5 simple things that as a student, if you do, will be able to help you in your retention of the things that you study. So please, let's put this into practice, and it will help us as students or as learners to be able to improve our retention. If you've not subscribed to this channel yet, you are losing a lot, because we have a lot of tips and tricks coming your way. And so please do that now, and don't forget to click on the bell so that anytime you post a new video, you'll be able to see it and watch it to educate yourself or inspire yourself. My name is Jeff Abwaje, and I am the voice of the silent majority. Oh yeah!